1000 events. Up next is the second of the women's doubles semi-finals. Liu Xing-shu and Tan Ning up against Iwanaga and Nakanishi of Japan. So both pairs looking for a first final at the Super 1000 level. And as you can see from the quarterfinal stage, only 4 different nationalities and only 4 seeds, 2 seeds in each half of the draw. 4 Chinese pairs, and 2 of those have come through to the semi-finals. And we know already that
Nakanishi, Japan.
We have 1 Chinese pair in tomorrow's final. Will it be an all-Chinese affair? Well, we're about to find out, because both pairs making their way onto centre stage. This is a discipline where Chinese women's doubles pairs have really made it their own. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. But this will only be a second meeting between these 2 particular pairs in international competition. And the only previous meeting was in the Denmark Super 750 last autumn. And that was won by Iwanaga and Nakanishi in 2 straight games.
For you, black or red? Red, you black. Black, you want the toss? You receive, who service?
Well, that's how I say it every time when they choose to receive. I really don't understand it. A big stadium has a slight drift, and therefore players must have a preferred end, whether it's hitting against the drift or with the drift, whatever your preference. I simply don't understand why players choose to receive. But there we go. There must be method to their choice there. Well, as far as the Chinese pair are concerned, they are the number 8 seeds, and both youngsters. Liu Xing-shu is still a teenager, 19 years of age, from Liaoning, the coastal province in northeast China. They're enjoying their 4th consecutive week at their career high of 8 on the world ranking. Tan Ning is already turned 20. Slightly shorter of the 2. She's 170, that's just about 5'7", whereas her partner is 5'9". They're making their first appearance here at the Malaysia Open. In fact, it's only their 2nd ever Super 1000 tournament. And looking at their matches so far, well, it was a tough first round, wasn't it, against Pearly Tan and Tina Muralitharan. 2 straight games there, though. And then teammates in both the 2nd round and the quarterfinal. The quarterfinal defeating the defending champions and 2-time winners Chen Qingcheng and Jia Yifan in 3 games. Rin Iwanaga is 24 years of age, from Yanai in Yamaguchi Prefecture. And they, like their opponents, are playing off a career high. It's their 19th week in their 4th different spell at 15 on the world rankings. It's a 2nd consecutive Malaysian Open for them. Kie Nakanishi, the left-hander, turned 28 last month. And as far as they are concerned, well, they had Korean opposition in both the 1st and 2nd round. Sadly, Kim had to retire injured in the 1st round match. The Olympic bronze medalists in the 2nd round. And then the quarter-final against Krasto and Ponapa. My goodness, what a good start to the partnership the Indian pair have made. Well, our court officials, Mohammed Salman from Malaysia and Kevin Mann from the United States of America. I'm Jill Clark, delighted to say that England international player Greg Mares is sitting alongside me as we look at the Chinese coaching bench and here the Japanese coaching bench. And you and I were chatting on the bus coming to the stadium, and you're very impressed with the young Chinese pair.
Yes, I am indeed. They're very, very attacking and very exciting to watch. I actually watched in the stadium their last 16 round, and I was blown away by their skills, Especially Liu's backhand drive is very, very nice.
We'll look out for that.
You ready?
So we await the umpires' introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Liu Shengsu and Tan Ning, China. And on my left, Kien Nakanishi and Rin Iwanaga, Japan. Kien Nakanishi to serve to Liu Shengsu. Love all. Play.
So the unseeded Japanese pair of Iwanaga and Nakanishi, far side of the court as we all look down up against the number 8 seeds, Liu Shengsu and Tan Ning of China. Yep, good angle from Tan Ning. Greg, I was telling everyone about the only previous meeting between these two pairs, which was in the second round of the Denmark Open last year. It was quite comfortable for the Japanese pair, but in all honesty, I can't help but wonder. Of course, the Chinese pair the week before in Finland had won the tournament, the Arctic Open 500 event, and that was a big step forward, I thought, for them at the time. And maybe there was a little bit of reaction for that. Do you think they've improved? Do you think that maybe circumstances were against them in Odense, in Denmark?
Yeah, potentially a surprise in the rankings as it stands now. But after winning a tournament, there's a lots of emotions. You're still playing on a Sunday, and then you have to play again on a Tuesday or Wednesday. So maybe a bit of fatigue. I actually watched that match back last night, and it sounds silly because the scores was 21-15, 21-15, but I think the Chinese pair were better players, and they were doing more of the right things. They were taking the shuttle earlier, they were more aggressive. However, they just made quite a lot of unforced errors doing the right thing, so not quite coming off the racket. But they fixed it because they did win the French Open the week after.
Exactly. Yeah, that's good defense. Beautiful. Just wides.
And in this match, the Chinese are coming off beating the current world #1 yesterday, so they're going to be filled with confidence. And again, I did watch that match, and they were very, very good.
Yeah.
Very attacking.
Yeah, not only the current world champions and world #1s, they were the defending champions here, Chen Qingqiang and Jia Yifan. Yeah, that's a powerful smash from Tan Ning.
4-1.
It's incredible to think that this is only the second ever Super 1000 event that the Chinese pair have competed in. And here they are in the semi-final.
Yeah, they've only been on the tour probably for
1 year.
yeah.
I mean, their ranking simply wasn't high enough to get into this event last year.
So fast there.
Well, we've talked a little bit about this Chinese pair. What about the Japanese pair, Iwanaga and Nakanishi? Probably not the best known Japanese pair, but they're a very steady pair. What would you describe as their qualities?
I think they really are clever with their shot placements. So they try and set up, when they're playing well, their right and left combination. I think so far in this match, they've been a little bit too defensive.
I think maybe they're a little bit nervous.
Yes. As you mentioned, never been in a final at this level of tournament before.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity for both of these pairs.
7-1.
Oh, this is a blistering start by the Chinese combination. Very, very powerful, as you've already alluded to.
I would like to see the Japanese pair try and get the attack. I know it's easier from that end of the court to lift, because from this side lifting is quite difficult, as we've seen in the other matches, but they need to try and get the attack.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
2-7.
Apart from anything, because you've already identified that the Chinese youngsters are very good in attack. If the Japanese are attacking themselves, then of course they're forcing their opponents to defend, stopping them from attacking themselves.
Absolutely. And I think that's the first error we've seen from the Chinese pair in attack. But probably they've hit most of their points in attack, so you would take one error and 8 winners.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tan's got a very deceptive flick serve as well, which you can kind of see there because there's a little hold in the low serve, so I'm wondering if she will bring that out maybe in the second set, because as we've said, it's a little bit faster going, hitting that way.
Hitting towards the far end.
Yes.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, she's not even attacking that low serve, is she? That's a good defence. I like that. Oh, it's a pity from the Japanese perspective.
10-2.
All their shots are going in a downward direction, as we've just identified that they should be trying to do.
It's very accurate lifting from the Chinese.
Oh, that's a lovely shot. Yeah, the momentum of the rally changed by Liu Xingshu, and that delicate little block push to the mid-court area. That really did the damage. So it's a huge advantage. That one, that's the one that I liked. Huge 9-point advantage here at the mid-game interval of the opening game. Just 7 minutes played. So the Chinese coaches, Tao Xiaoming and Kang Kyung-jin. I don't think they probably needed to say much to their players. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Play.
So 11-2 in this opening game. Going long. Greg, right at the start, I said that Chinese women's doubles pairs have been virtually making this women's doubles title their own. Just to back up that statistic, Chinese pairs have won 26 of the 39 previous Malaysian Open women's doubles titles since the first Malaysian Open in the Open era, which was in 1983. That's 2/3 of all titles, women's doubles titles, won by Chinese combinations.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And it's not like now they have in the draw 4 pairs that you would say they could win the tournament.
And 4 pairs were in the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so half of the quarterfinalists were Chinese pairs.
Such strength in depth.
Yeah.
And I think that's also why the Japanese are doing well, because they also have lots of good training partners to spar with on a regular basis.
Yeah. Mind you, it's 6 years since a Japanese pair won this women's doubles title here at the Malaysian Open. In fact, only 2 pairs from Japan have ever won this title. First was 7 years ago, Fukushima and Hirota. And then 6 years ago, Matsutomo and Takahashi. Given the strength of Japanese women's doubles over the last, I suppose, almost a decade, that's quite surprising in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you would say here in the Axiata Arena, you would generally say is quite windy and faster conditions. So the Japanese style is often slightly more longer rallies, so that would suit slower holes. So maybe that's a reason.
Yeah, that's a good point.
As opposed to the Chinese, definitely now very much more attacking. Or
look at that. That's a super shot from Liu Shenshu.
44.
And they seem to be playing just a higher overall speed. Every time they do lift, the next shot, they're really pushing it back.
Yeah, so they're not just wanting.
In.
They're just not wanting to lift. They're trying to counteract on the defence. Oh, that's loose. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's gone wrong there once. But as I said, for every one time it's gone wrong, it's gone right a lot more.
Yeah.
Just a little bit loose.
Play from Liu Shenshu. Nice drop. She got the short lift and then made the error on the smash. But it's interesting, Greg, because I know you do some coaching, even though you're still a player on the World Tour. Because you were saying that when these 2 pairs met each other in the Denmark Open, you felt that the Chinese pair were trying to hit the right shots, but they were making errors. Now, as a coach, do you prefer to see youngsters doing that, or do you prefer to see them just playing safety?
I think you need to be trying to play at a higher level. So yeah, 100% would say you want to be playing that style.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good lift. I'm a great believer that, especially with the youngsters, they should be trying to explore what's possible with the racket, and therefore going for the right shots, even if they don't work. You know, you'll become more consistent in time with those shots. But if you don't try and use them, then they're not in the repertoire, which will presumably limit potential.
Yeah.
Overall, in the long term. just not dealing with the attacking play of the Chinese pair at the moment. Iwanaga and Nakanishi. Lovely play. The change of pace from Liu Shengshu played to perfection.
7.
Push hard, then the little net shot, and she stands her ground.
Thank you.
Goodness me, that was an efficient backhand kill, wasn't it? Did you see how high that shuttle bounced? It's almost like a ball in tennis.
Nakanishi. Iwanaga on court.
It's really important to have a short swing there, because if she had a bigger swing, she's going to take the shuttle later and then risk actually hitting it in the net.
Yeah. Short, sharp movement of the racket head is all that's required. And just 3 points away from this opening game. Good rally. Oh my goodness! Oh! Oh my goodness me! Tan missing big time. Oh, she got the net cord on a net shot. Oh, watch her partner. Look at Liu Shengshu when she misses this one. How did you do that, partner? You'd never do that when you're playing mixed doubles with your wife, would you?
Oh, I don't know.
You're going to be in trouble, Greg. Oh, that's another net cord. Goodness me. 2 net cords, 2 rallies from Tan Ning.
To be fair to her, on the previous rally, it was spinning a lot.
It was.
But yeah, after a great rally like that, it's sometimes hard to hide the emotion.
We'd like to see a bit of passion and players caring about winning and losing every point.
Oh.
That wasn't the backhand from Liu, that was from Tan Ning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She was a little bit upright in the defensive stance there. Liu Shengshu.
I think it's very important for them, Liu and Tan, to really close out this game now. I feel like the last couple of points, they've dropped their speed a little bit, and just to send a signal to them before the second set.
That was a flatter smash. Had the desired effect. And his game point opportunities. 10 of them for Liu Shengshu and Tan Ning. Oh, that was well put away by Iwanaga.
11, 20.
Yeah, I like the fact one was pulled out wide one side of the court, the other one moved round to cover the other side of the court. Yep, second time of asking. 21-11.
First game.
The opening game.
21-11.
21-11 confirms the umpire in 19 minutes, and that was very impressive indeed by Liu Shengshu and Tan Ning. Good variation on their attacking play. Variation on angle. Variation on pace. And their rewards, a very convincing opening game.
简单一点，让他们多洗球，他们输就会多进攻。然后我们下手，我们先去发，他们只要加力打过来，只要超过了这个就可以了，接不久。基本上就是前面那个球几个放了，对他肯定就进了。就一定不能上头啊！特别是凯尼把场上节奏控制，然后老师去加速去杀球，去打法，啊，杀拿了以后就要让他去抽啊，然后想让我这样球队就一定要把自己的节奏打好。
20 seconds. 20 seconds. Coaches, return to your chair. Players on court. Iwanaga.
So the Chinese number 8 seeds Liu Shengshu and Tan Ning, one game to the good, 21-11 that opening game.
Love all. Play.
So quite possibly time for a change of tactics from Iwanaga and Nakanishi. Landed in.
That's great placement on the smash.
1-love.
Because there you could see Nakanishi didn't know whether to take that low or high.
Yeah, and it was just inside that back line, you're right, it was a lovely smash. And that's what I was alluding to at the end of the first game, the variation in angle, variation in pace, variation in placement. Very good in the opening game by the Chinese pair. Oh, that's well taken. Now, Greg, I was suggesting that perhaps it was time for Iwanaga and Nakanishi to change tactics. I'm assuming you don't speak any Japanese, and I'm assuming you didn't understand any of the coaching break there.
Yeah.
So, what would you have said to them in the 2-minute timeout?
I think you're absolutely right. They need to do something, and it's going to be really interesting the start of this game to see what they do. I would suggest really stepping up the court. So when playing these pushes, so that they're going below the height of the net, and then really stepping up. I felt like they were tentative in the first set. That might be nerves of the big occasion. That might be just they weren't having a good feeling from that side, or their shot quality wasn't right. But you have to go for it.
So half a step further forward in their defensive stance, or now you see they're quite far back, aren't they? You're right. They're too far back in court.
Service over.
And also, rather than just a simple lift, do a little bit of maybe a hold or cross-court lift to make them move. Because when the Chinese are on balance, They're getting through on the attack really well.
Now, I have to say that when I've watched Liu Shengshu before, I'm very impressed. She's a very, very good player. But I think that changing direction, I think her movement still needs to improve. Most of the time she anticipates well. Good defense. This is a good rally. Yeah, well worked by the Japanese combination.
That is much better. Early on in that rally, they played a push and they made a decisive move forwards, and that got them the attack for the rest of the rally.
Standing, ready to go.
I just get the sense that the Japanese pair are working their way into this match. It's fascinating to me, you know, this time last year, Liu Shengshu was tried out with Shangshu Xian, who's already in the final. And in fact, they won the Indonesian Masters 500, which will be happening in a couple of weeks' time. So she's defending champion. Then they formed this partnership, and Tang Ning was basically a women's singles player before this partnership formed. She won a bronze medal at the Asia Junior Championships of 2019. So it's interesting that they've gone for a player that's more of a worker, I think, as a partner for Liu Shengshu.
Yeah, I agree. And it's just so interesting how they formulate their partnerships. As you said, Tan only played women's singles in the World Junior Championships in 2019, whereas Liu Shengshu played women's doubles and mixed doubles and won them both. And that was in 2022.
Yeah.
So not long ago at all. And then they've obviously made the decision to put her in just the women's doubles, which they often do.
Yeah.
That's really good movement. Once again, moving forwards, playing the shuttle below the height of the net. And that was an important point at the early stages of this game.
Now, you were talking in the opening game, Greg, about you need a short, sharp movement of the racket heads when you're at the net. Look how big the swings were from Tan Ning there. That's why she mistimed the second one there. I think the swing was too big.
Yeah, she was still following through from the previous swing, which meant she was later onto the next shot.
Yeah.
Service over.
Much better.
4-7.
7 finals last year for Liu Shengshu and Tang Ning. That's not bad for a first year on the World Tour, is it? All 7 of those finals at World Tour events. Amazing.
Service over.
For the Japanese pair, just one title last year. It was the last of the HSBC BWF World Tour events of 2023. The Saeed Modi 300 event beat Crasto and Ponopa in the final. Yeah, look at the reaction. Jumping up and down, his frustration.
5-8.
A powerful smash.
There's the backhand drive I was talking about as well, to set up that smash.
Hopefully we'll see that again. That one! Yes, you're right, it is a marvellous shot. She can play it straight down the line too.
Oh.
There it is again.
I was just about to say, I would like to see the Japanese pair use more of their set plays, which they did last time they played the Chinese pair in their previous meeting, and which is Nakanishi returning hard into that side, and then Iwanaga coming round. But they've just tried it, and they've managed to play it cross. Now, that's because the return wasn't quite good enough.
Yeah, she anticipated that well. Oh, it's landed in. Well, it's called in. It's the first challenge of this semi-final. I thought that looked as if it was going long. The line judge calling it in. Here we go. It was in. Well done, line judge.
Successful. One challenge remaining. Players back on court.
So back level. 4-point deficit has been closed.
Eight all play.
So let's see what Nakanishi does on the return this time.
Oh, it's too flat and it's gone long of the back line.
9-8.
On a run of 5 straight points now. Liu Shengshu and Tan Ning. Yeah, it's clearly long. Oh, that's a great tumble serve, isn't it?
Service
Even
over.
better return.
Yeah.
She's done very well to control that.
9 all.
Oh, Iwanaga didn't want the shuttle changed. Yeah, net called on the return.
Service over 10, 9.
Six of the last 7 points to this Chinese pair. Oh, that's cool. Good.
11-9 interval.
Make that 7 of the last 8 points to the number 8 seeds, Liu Shengshu and Tan Ning, to go to the mid-game interval with a 2-point advantage. Yeah, perfection.
Seconds. 20 seconds. Watchers, return to your chair. Players on top. Eleven, 9, play.
So 7 of the last 8 points to Liu Shengshu and Tan Ning. So the obvious question, Greg, is what on earth has changed? What's happened?
Yeah, it was a very important passage of play. And the Japanese are going to be going into that break a little bit demoralised after being 8-4 up.
Well, what happened? Did they go back to defending again, or what changed?
Yeah, I think they've dropped the speed. A little bit of them dropping the speed and the Chinese upping their speed a little bit. And this game is being won in this mid-court and forecourt area. I know we've just seen the drop shot winner, but the earlier shots there set up that lift.
Eight of the last 9 points. That's well judged, well left.
30, 9.
But I don't think she needed to lift that. I think earlier in the game she would have played a net shot there to try and force the lift.
Oh, there's a bit of wildlife on the court. Yes, get away. Whoa. Oh, yeah, oh, there we go. Oh, don't damage him.
Okay, Iwanaga. Play.
It's a good serve as well. Magnificent smash from Tan Ning.
14, 9.
10 or 11 points. You know, at some point, it's happened to all of us. You know, opponents start getting on a run and so on. But you've got to say to yourself and to your partner, right, this next rally, we're going all out. We're not going to allow our opponents to win this next rally. We're going to do everything. And I don't see that that was a beautiful return of serve. I haven't seen that sort of urgency that I'd have liked to have seen over those previous 11 points from the Japanese pair.
Definitely not, yeah, in the last 11. I think they started it.
Yeah.
I don't really know what's happened.
No.
That's good.
Yeah, that was a lovely net shot.
But she could have been even more forwards. It's unlikely that the Chinese would have lifted from that position. So they need to keep taking those chances and going forwards. But as you said, lovely net shot.
Yeah. Yeah, who are we to criticise when you've played a beauty like that? No, good return of serve from Tanning.
15-11.
Perfect into that area of uncertainty. Just behind the server, just in front of their partner.
Ooh.
Service over.
Now you suggested
50.
that Tanning, was it Tanning you said had got a very good
Yeah.
flick serve?
That was more of a flat drive, yeah.
Yeah, but it played with deception because Nakanishi was nowhere near it. Fortunately for the Japanese pair, it was wide. There's the drive defence. That sort of drive defence that we've just seen from the Chinese pair is the sort of defence I would like to see more of from the Japanese combination.
Yes, definitely. Completely agree.
Well, they're just 5 points away from making it an all-Chinese women's doubles final tomorrow. Oh, that's a beauty. Absolute beauty from Liu Shengshu.
17-12.
Absolutely wonderful technical skills. Well, I think we're very nearly at the point of now or never as far as Iwanaga and Nakanishi are concerned.
Yeah, they need a run now that they had against them at the start of this game. Look how aggressive this return of serve stance is.
Yeah. We're actually standing on that front line. Of course, you're not allowed to stand on the line. But you're very close to it.
Service over. 18-13.
Yeah. 2 points away
19.
from a first
30.
ever final at Super 1000 level. And only their second ever Super 1000 tournament as a pair. Another good tumble
Service
serve.
over.
Well,
40.
error on the
19.
backhands this time from Liu Shengshu. But it is such a good technique, isn't it?
Really stepping forwards into it. The power she generates is phenomenal.
With so little backswing.
Yeah.
Loosening and tightening of the grip as she's playing the shot, generating part of the power. It's gone long.
60. 90.
Well, this is close enough now to make the Chinese pair think a little.
Yeah, a few errors creeping in from Tan.
The defensive shot drifts long of the back line,
Match point.
and it is
60.
4 match point opportunities for Liu Shengshu and Tang Ning. There's a big gap there. Oh my goodness. Oh! I don't believe it! Tan Ning, a superb dive first of all, and then plays the winning shots while lying on the floor. And that to win the match and book their place in the final. Absolutely extraordinary. She was literally lying down.
What a way to win a match.
Won by Liu Shengshu and Tan Ning. 21-11, 21-16.
How on earth did she do that? Quite extraordinary.
I love the slow-mo replays.
Absolute delight. A moment of magic from Tan Ning. And they booked their a place in the final. Only their second ever Super 1000 tournament, and they're through to the final. 21-11, 21-16, the margin of the victory for Liu Shengshu and Tang Ning against Iwanaga and Nakanishi of Japan. Match lasting 47 minutes, and it will indeed be an all-Chinese women's doubles final tomorrow. So coming up next is men's singles, and it's an all-unseeded semi-final with Lin Chun-yi, the left-hander from Taipei, up against the three-time World Championship medalist Anders Antonsen of Denmark. the fans here have an awful lot to do apart from watching badminton, because some of the stars are available to sign autographs and meet the fans. You can have something to eat outside in the concourse area of this magnificent arena. But most of all, the fans have come to see this, the badminton.